Hello everyone and welcome to Nancy's Magic Touch and DIYs. In today's video, I'm taking another super thrift store item and give it a brand new life. The result is amazing. So you want to stick around, grab a nice warm cup of tea and let's get started.
I found this beautiful piece at the thrift store. It's very unique. It's an old telephone bench. Back in the days, they used to have the telephone on that little side table area here and sit down and talk. And it's in pretty good shape. It has some areas that needs TLC, but I'm going to see what I can do with this piece. So the first thing I'm doing is taking the cushion seating out. I got the back cushion out, but to take the seat cushion, I need to remove the legs in order to get to the screw that's holding it in place. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So I got the cushions and the legs apart. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my rotary sander with 120 grit sandpaper, and I'm going to sand the whole piece lightly. This is veneer coating, so I don't want to damage it. I just want to get rid of the shine a little bit just to make sure that my paint adheres really well. I have damaged striping, so I'm just removing this whole piece. I put the table legs all back together so that I can go ahead and paint this piece. By the seating area on the back, there's these screws and they are noticeable. You can see them and I don't like that. So I'm just taking some wood filler and I'm going to fill these holes and let it dry. I also have a little bit of damage on the top area here, so I'm going to try to fix that the best I can. Now while sanding the wood filler off, I'm noticing that it needs more filling in order to be nice and flush. So I'm going to go ahead and repeat this step one more time. While I'm waiting for my wood filler to dry, I'm going to take the seat cushions apart. I'm getting rid of all this fabric and we're going to put some nice new stuff on, so I'm going to prep these. And surprisingly, these foams are really nice, clean, and in good shape, so I'm going to reuse them. And the second coat of wood filler is dry, so I'm going to smooth this out and get it ready to paint. Now I'm taking the leaf blower to blow off most of this dust, and I'm going to give this table a really good wipe. I'm using some Bear chalk paint and the color is Falling Snow, and I have recently purchased a spray gun and I'm gonna go ahead and spray paint this whole piece. I watered down my paint before putting it into my gun a little bit with some water, as it's recommended when you use chalk paint. this is what it looks like with one full coat of paint. I have given 2 coats of paint to this beauty, and now I'm using some 320 grit sandpaper and lightly sanding the whole piece just to smooth out the paint. Now I'm going to go ahead and distress the legs of this piece. So I'm going to go ahead and sand some more on the leg area and sand until I have the desired distress look. I'm going to put all new striping on this piece, so I'm sanding the paint off of the striping that was missing on the piece, and just to give it a better chance to adhere to the wood. Now I'm going ahead and removing all the old striping just because I want the new striping to adhere, again, like I said, very well to the wood. And the reason why I didn't remove these beforehand is to have less sanding to do. Now this piece needs another really good wipe. So since the striping was damaged on the table, I needed new striping. So I took a trip to Home Depot to see what they had in stock. And I didn't want a colored striping. I wanted something wood looking to give it a little bit of a natural look. So I'm up here looking at different kinds, and I'm gonna go ahead and bring one of these rolls home with me in order to fix this table. Now for the striping, I decided to go with the oak one just because the wood look has more detail and I like that a little bit better. So we're gonna go ahead and open this packaging and put that in place on my table. So to put this in place, you need an iron and you need to set it on the highest heat section, which is the cotton. And you simply put that flush in place on your area and then just melt it with the iron. And you need to make sure that you do a little section first and mount the glue to this piece and let it set for just a little bit in order to glue the piece on, because I have tried this and I tried to iron like a long piece and I noticed that as I went along the piece moved on me. So you really need to let it set at first and then move along. Now, I was using a utility knife, but I noticed that you just bend these down and they break. So you could do it either way. You can just fold it and break it, but I find gives a better finish if you do it with the knife. Now the striping is a bit wider than the edge of this piece, so I gotta go ahead and trim all this a little bit, and you just push on it and it kind of breaks down. And I'm gonna go ahead afterwards with my utility knife just to make it nice and straight. Now I'm taking a piece of 120 grit sandpaper and just smoothing these edges just to make sure that there is no splinter or anything. Now while I sanded this piece, there's some areas that I sanded a little bit too much, so I'm just going ahead and giving this a touch up. Now I'm using my clear wax by Bear, and I'm applying a full coat of wax to this piece. Once I'm done applying this wax, I'm going to let it set for a little bit, and then I'm going to take a cloth and I am going to wipe it down very well to buff the wax into the piece. Time to get these cushions ready, so I kept the wood piece that was originally with it and the foam because it's in really good shape, and I purchased some of this plaid upholstery fabric at Fabricville, and I'm gonna go ahead and use my staple gun and put that all together. I want to make sure that when I cut this piece that I cut it wide enough that it will overlap on the back in order to staple it in place. I'm making sure I'm picking a staple that is proper for my board. My board is 1/4 of an inch, so I need to make sure that these staples are no longer than 1/4 of an inch. Now that my cushions are beautifully done, I'm gonna go ahead and simply put them right back in place. In order to do that, I need to remove these legs to get to the hole for the screw. Now the cushions are in place and I think it looks very nice and clean looking. Now I'm going to add a little wired basket to the front of this piece just to give it a little bit more storage option. So I'm using 5/8 of an inch screws and I'm simply going to screw that in place. Before I screw it in place, I'm going to make sure that I have it in the middle. So I'm going to measure each side to make sure it's the same inches on each side. And then I'm going to go ahead and put the first screw in place and use my level to make sure that it's nice and straight. And now I'm going to go ahead and put the second screw in place. On the side of this table, I want to put some hooks, again for extra storage. And I'm thinking you can hang your keys, your shoes, your slippers, or whatnot on this area of the table. So I'm going to use 3 of these hooks. And first I'm going to measure to make sure I can find the metal of this area. Put the metal one on first and then go ahead and put the other ones. I purchased these beautiful black wired basket at Walmart. They were $8.97 a piece and they are the perfect added touch to the side of this table for extra storage. This telephone table makes it for the perfect entrance bench. These little baskets can be used to put perhaps some scarves or whatnot, and it's nice to have a seating area to put your shoes on when you get ready at the door, and I think this is the perfect piece for that. This little black basket up front is perfect for your wallet or your phone. And then you can add some basket on the bottom again if you have extra shoes or slippers that you want to put in there, and just some hooks on the side for your keys like I said, and it makes it for the perfect entrance piece of furniture.
Well, that's it for this video, folks. I hope you enjoyed it. I am in love with this piece, of course. If you did, I need those thumbs up. I want to hear all your comments down below. And if you haven't had a chance to subscribe to my channel and you like my style, well, please hit that red button and subscribe. Until next time, folks, have yourself a wonderful day.